Mother Nature has big plans for President's Day weekend, and for millions across the South, it's not sunshine, it's a major storm. A sprawling system is set to sweep from Texas to the Atlantic, bringing days of heavy rain and severe weather. This isn't a quick shower, it's a slow-moving, multi-day event that will disrupt travel and outdoor plans. The storm is fueled by moisture from both the Pacific and Gulf of Mexico, primed for downpours and strong thunderstorms. Think of it as a giant sponge, soaking up water and squeezing it out over the South. We're issuing early alerts so you have time to prepare. If you're traveling or live in a flood-prone area, now's the time to check your plans and get ready. We'll break down what to expect, so you can stay safe and informed. Let's trace the storm's path as it carves a dramatic journey across the southern United States, impacting millions along the way. This isn't just a quick burst of rain, this is a sprawling, slow-moving system that will leave its mark from Texas all the way to the Atlantic coast. The action begins on Friday, when the first signs of trouble appear over the southern plains. West Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri are the first to feel the effects, as dark clouds gather and the initial showers and thunderstorms roll in. For many, it starts as a gentle rain but quickly escalates into heavier downpours and rumbles of thunder, signaling the arrival of something much bigger. By Saturday, the storm intensifies and expands its reach. The main event is underway, with heavy rain and severe weather targeting a broad swath of the region. Eastern Texas, including major cities like Dallas and Houston, brace for relentless rain. Louisiana and Arkansas are hit with powerful thunderstorms, while western Mississippi sees skies darken and lightning split the horizon. Roads become slick, and the risk of flash flooding begins to rise. Saturday marks the peak intensity for this region. Widespread downpours drench neighborhoods, and thunderstorms rumble across both cities and rural areas. Streets flood quickly, and emergency alerts start to pop up as the storm's full force is felt. As the weekend progresses, the storm system pushes eastward. By Sunday and into Monday, the focus shifts to Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. Rain bands sweep across these states, soaking cities like Atlanta and Nashville. The storm clouds seem endless and the rain just keeps coming, making travel hazardous and outdoor plans nearly impossible. Even as the storm weakens near the Atlantic coast, it still packs a punch. Steady rain continues to fall, leading to minor flooding in neighborhoods and gray, dreary conditions in beach towns. The risk of flooding lingers through the holiday, as saturated ground struggles to absorb any more water. The slow pace of this system is what makes it especially dangerous. Rain falls over the same areas for days on end, saturating the soil and causing rivers and streams to swell. Water pools on already soaked ground, and streets flood after days of relentless rain, raising the flood threat to a new level. Unlike a fast-moving front that sweeps through in a matter of hours, this storm lingers. It soaks the ground, overwhelms drainage systems, and leaves parks and neighborhoods waterlogged. The persistent rain means there's little time for the water to recede before more arrives. That's why flooding is such a major concern, especially in densely populated areas where drainage is limited. Emergency crews are on high alert, monitoring rising water levels and responding to calls for help as cars become stranded and homes are threatened by floodwaters. The Southeast will feel the storm's effects well before it finally moves offshore late Monday. Streets remain slick, winds whip through coastal towns, and puddles grow into ponds as the rain refuses to let up. It's a classic setup for widespread flooding across a huge swath of the country. With so many states in the storm's path, millions are urged to stay alert, heed warnings, and prepare for the possibility of rising water. This is a storm that will be remembered for its persistence, its reach, and the challenges it brings to communities from Texas to the southeast coast. So, how much rain? Most of the deep south to the southeast coast will see 1 to 2 inches, enough to saturate the ground and swell creeks, but some areas, especially Oklahoma, Arkansas, northern Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, could see 2 to 3 inches or more. Urban areas, like Jackson and Atlanta, are on alert. Concrete and pavement mean water runs off fast, flooding streets and underpasses. Thunderstorms can dump several inches in just a few hours, so totals will vary widely. One town might get an inch, while a nearby spot gets 3 or 4. That's why it's crucial to monitor local warnings and radar. The forecast gives the big picture, but real-time alerts tell you if a downpour is heading your way. Stay tuned to your local forecast for the latest updates. This storm is a double-edged sword. It brings with it both hope and concern, a mix of relief and anxiety for communities across the South. As the first drops begin to fall, many people look to the sky with gratitude, but also with a sense of unease about what's to come. Many parts of the South desperately need rain after weeks of drought and rainfall deficits. The land has been thirsting for moisture, with crops wilting and reservoirs running low. Rivers and lakes have receded, and the soil has become so dry that it crumbles at the touch. For farmers, ranchers, and anyone who depends on the land, this rain is a long-awaited lifeline. Cities like Atlanta and Jackson are several inches behind on winter rain. This storm could help erase that shortfall. Water supplies could be replenished, and parks and gardens might finally see some green return. For city dwellers, the rain is a sign that nature is trying to restore balance after a season of scarcity. For farmers and gardeners, it's a much-needed boost before spring. The rain softens the ground, making it easier to plant seeds and prepare for the growing season ahead. It's a chance for new life to take root and for communities to look forward to a more fruitful year. But too much rain, too fast, is dangerous. When storms unleash torrents in a matter of hours, the ground simply can't keep up. What starts as a blessing can quickly turn into a threat, especially when the rain falls harder and faster than the land can absorb. Dry, hard-packed soil can't absorb heavy downpours, leading to rapid runoff and flash flooding. Instead of soaking in, the water rushes over the surface, picking up speed and power as it goes. This sudden surge can catch people off guard, turning quiet creeks into raging torrents in minutes. Urban areas are especially vulnerable. Concrete and asphalt turn rain into instant runoff. Overwhelming drainage systems. Storm drains can't keep up, and water quickly pools on roads and sidewalks. Even a short, intense burst of rain can cause chaos in neighborhoods and business districts. Streets can become rivers, underpasses can flood, and homes in low-lying areas are at risk. Cars can be stranded, and families may have to evacuate with little warning. The very rain that brings relief can also bring destruction, sometimes within the same day. The same rain that helps drought can quickly become a hazard. It's a stark reminder of how closely linked our fortunes are to the weather, and how quickly circumstances can change. It's a delicate balance, and this storm threatens to tip it toward danger. Communities must stay vigilant, knowing that the line between blessing and curse is razor thin. Be prepared for both the benefits and the risks. Take steps to protect your home and loved ones, and don't underestimate the power of water, whether it comes as a gentle rain or a sudden flood. Stay alert and ready to act if flooding develops. In times like these, awareness and preparation can make all the difference between weathering the storm safely and facing its worst consequences. You'll hear us talk a lot about flash flood risk levels this weekend, so let's break down exactly what those levels mean and why they matter for you and your family. Understanding these alerts can help you make the right decisions when severe weather threatens your area. Level 1 is called marginal. This means isolated flash floods are possible, especially in areas that are already prone to flooding, like low-lying spots or places near creeks and streams. While the risk is lower, it's still important to stay aware. Sometimes even a little rain can cause problems if the ground is already saturated or drains are blocked. Level 2 is slight. Here, scattered flash floods are expected. This is when you need to start paying close attention to weather alerts and have a plan in place. Flooding could happen in more than one area and conditions can change quickly. Make sure you know where to go if you need to move to higher ground, and keep your phone charged so you can receive emergency notifications. Level 3 is moderate. At this level, numerous and potentially widespread flash floods are likely. The situation can become dangerous very quickly, with roads becoming impassable and homes threatened. Avoid travel if possible and be ready to act fast if authorities issue evacuation orders. Your safety and the safety of your loved ones could depend on how quickly you respond. Level 4 is high. This is rare, but when it happens, catastrophic flooding is expected. This level poses a major threat to life and property. Entire neighborhoods can be inundated, and emergency services may be stretched thin. If you're in a high-risk area, you may need to evacuate before the worst of the storm arrives. Don't wait. Take action as soon as you're advised. Flash floods can develop with little warning. A dry creek bed can turn into a raging torrent in just minutes, and city streets can go from dry to underwater before you even realize what's happening. That's why it's so important to stay alert and act quickly when conditions change. Never try to drive through floodwaters. Even if the water looks shallow, it can be much deeper than it appears, and the road underneath may be washed out. Remember, turn around, don't drown. It's not worth risking your life or the lives of others. Just 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock you off your feet, and only a foot of water can float a car or even sweep it away. Floodwaters are powerful and unpredictable. Never underestimate their strength. Take a moment to check your local flood risk and know which level applies to your area. Share this information with your family and neighbors, especially those who may not have access to alerts. Taking these warnings seriously can save lives. Stay informed by monitoring weather updates on your phone, TV, or radio. Prepare an emergency kit with essentials like water, food, medications, and important documents. If you're told to evacuate, do so quickly and calmly. These risk levels are your early warning system. Don't ignore them or assume you'll be safe just because it hasn't happened before. Flash floods can strike anywhere, and preparation is your best defense. Your safety depends on quick action and good information. Stay alert, stay prepared, and help keep your community safe. Beyond flooding, this storm could bring severe thunderstorms. A severe thunderstorm means hail an inch or more, winds over 58 km/h, or a tornado. This weekend, damaging winds are the main threat, but hail and isolated tornadoes are possible. The severe risk starts Friday in West Texas and Oklahoma, then shifts east Saturday to Houston, Lake Charles and Baton Rouge. A level 2, slight risk means scattered severe storms. Some could be dangerous. Secure outdoor items ahead of the storm. Strong winds can turn them into projectiles. While tornado risk is low, a few supercells could spin up isolated tornadoes. Have a way to get warnings. Know a radio or a weather app that can wake you up. Stay alert for changing conditions. Let's pinpoint the cities most at risk. Saturday, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Shreveport, Baton Rouge and New Orleans face heavy rain and severe storms. Houston is especially vulnerable to flooding and wind. Jackson, Mississippi and Atlanta, Georgia are also in the crosshairs. Both have rainfall deficits but face flash flood risk. By Sunday and Monday, Atlanta, Birmingham and Nashville are in the path of heavy rain and possible flooding. Holiday weekends mean more travel and distractions. Don't let your guard down. Check the forecast before heading out and have a way to get alerts. Preparation now can prevent disaster later. Let's break down the threats. Damaging winds over 58 mph can snap branches, down power lines, and cause outages. Secure outdoor items and stay away from windows. Flash floods are deadly. Never drive through flooded roads. Water can be deeper and faster than it looks. Just a foot of water can sweep away a car. Turn around, don't drown. Tornadoes, while unlikely, are the most violent threat. If a warning is issued, go to the lowest, most interior room. No windows. Each hazard requires a different response. Secure, avoid, and shelter. Know these safety basics before storms hit. Quick action can save lives. Stay calm, stay informed, and be ready to act. Your preparation is your best protection. Here's your action plan for the weekend. Have multiple ways to get weather alerts. No AA radio, phone apps, and wireless alerts. Secure or bring inside anything the wind could toss. Furniture, toys, grills. Clean gutters and downspouts to prevent water damage. Prepare an emergency kit. Flashlights, batteries, phone charger, first aid kit, medications, food, and water. Keep everything in one easy-to-find spot. Talk with your family about your safety plan. Know your safe place for tornadoes and review flood safety. Remind everyone, turn around, don't drown. A little planning goes a long way. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll get through this storm together.